and welcome to this video, my lovely. My name is Nina, and as you can see, we're not alone. Technically we are, but we have another Nina Inception, and that means that we are touring another one of my completed islands. This is another version of our kind of forever island that we still didn't update the DA to, so there's no point in visiting the DA once I show you the map, because that will still lead you to the abandoned version of this island that we have built up together that I'm not gonna overwrite. So this is the only kind of insight you're gonna get. This was my offline island, so I've been working on this in my free time and I've really enjoyed it. But without further babbling on, let's flop right in and I will show you around and tell you a bit more about the theme. First up, let me open the map. You can already see that the beaches are not decorated because they are again overgrown because I couldn't be asked. But this is Drops' map. Now again, the dream address is not going to lead you to this island. So if you decide to visit, be prepared to see another island. But for our villagers, we have Lucky, Walker, Murphy, Maggie, Scoot, Dina, Lyman, Henry, Toby, and Tad. All of which I absolutely adore. I was initially going to replace these two, but I just couldn't bring myself to because I love them so much. And they are so cute. And as you can see, we also have the middle version of the museum that is currently not available anymore because it was removed after the 2.0 update. This was the first upgrade of the museum after the tent and before the white version and the big museum that also has the art gallery. So that is a little special thing about this island. Alrighty, so first things first, let's pull out our camera map. I feel like I always say our camera map because I just want to say my map and the camera. As you can see, this is a cherry blossom season sprinkle kind of island. I just wanted to make a soft theme with all the pinks, whoops, my head, and just all the nature bits that I, love working with. So this was very much my comfort zone, but with another added touch that I've never really tried as the with that being the sakura season. Sorry, my brain's not here fully. But as we head in here, we have two ways that we can go. We can either go over to the left, which is going to lead you to my home, or we can go over to the right side, which is going to lead us to rest services eventually. But we're not going to sneak through here. You could eventually sneak through here, but I think I want to start with the left side because that's kind of how I created the island. I kind of started to the left side. So that is what we're going to explore first. So as we can see, we have my house. It is not decorated because I just don't love decorating my own house. However, I did decorate nearly all the villager houses and also redecorated the exteriors. So we're going to take a look in those for those who are already awake because it is currently 6 a.m. So not all of them are awake. But yeah, we have two ways, again, that we could go. We could either go through here, which we're going to do in a little second, or we could head down here, which gives us this little picnic kind of spot, which I really love. I just really liked doing like some soft, cozy little nooks and just make a very cozy island compared to like all my abandoned kind of trashy islands that I've done in the past. So I wanted to go back to that because the first island that we've ever done on this island was actually a cozy, cool island. So I felt that that was quite fitting. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the left first and then we're going to circle back around and check out that view that we're going to get when we go through that middle walk there. But here we just have this little daisy farm. I feel like this diagonal kind of farm trend has been quite a thing on Instagram recently, and on my offline islands I allow myself to be a bit more trendy and not try to be too unique with them because I don't know, I just want to have a cozy time, enjoy it, and if I see something that inspires me, I'm gonna go for it and try to give it my own little spin. And this is where Toby lives. Now he has a little cozy nook, again, nothing really special. His home is technically designed, but again, we can't enter because he's not awake yet. And also the beaches are currently my flower storage, so there's nothing to explore there. but you could potentially enter the beach through here, which I do think is a very cute thing. And I was initially going to decorate them, but I just don't enjoy it. And on my offline island, I really only want to do what I enjoy. So that is what I did. Then if we head up this incline, it leads us into another very overgrown kind of bit and eventually into a land bridge. Now, before we go up there, we have a little picnic spot where you can lie on this. Like, you could technically lay down on this hay bale, and you also get a very cute view of the pathway that we haven't checked out yet, where Dina is currently checking out the rivers because it is currently the fishing tourney, I think, on this island. So they are all dressed up in their adorable little hats and looking for fish. So I thought that was quite cute. And also, this is the nicest day of this year with the, you know, cherry blossom showers with the petals floating down. So I thought this was a nice little day. But yeah, if we head through here, we are led to a little land bridge. This is a very like overgrown land bridge. I like to have mine rather like windy and natural and overgrown. I also like straight like land bridges that are in a straight line, but for this island in particular, I felt like, you know, we needed another natural thing. And I also created like just a little flower valley, nothing too special. I don't really love how much you can see the cliffs down there, but I do really like the rivers kind of merging down into the valley, and the waterfalls kind of also going down in there. So I thought that would be quite nice. And also we have another spot down there that is very overgrown because it is right next to the beach, so it kind of turns into another flower storage, but that's another little seating picnic kind of nook that I, you know, flopped there. Then if we head through here again, we can hop over this little river and we have another lookout spot. I'm obsessed with lookout spots, if you can't tell. I was also going to decorate this picnic that you can see, the blanket that you can see there. But, you know, it was kind of hidden, so I felt like maybe you could bring your own stuff, and that's that. But I do really like this little picnic kind of lookout deck because you can see another picnic back there and just this forest with all the flowers within. I just thought that was very cute, and I just love creating overgrown spaces, if you haven't known, if you didn't know already. But yeah, if we head down this little incline, we can hop over this river, and we have some more duckies because obviously it's one of my islands, so we need tons of ducks. Because this is Duckland, welcome in. It's also lagland, by the way, so that's also very nice. So I'm glad that, you know, in a tour we're kind of walking slowly so that it's not as apparent. And we have another little overgrown pathway that kind of follows this river because it's gonna curve to the right here in a sec. But we have this little seating spot. I was kind of playing with the pergola and had a little tombstone back there. I'm not really sure why I did that. I just felt like it was a nice little view, and it doesn't necessarily look like a tombstone. Technically it's a Zen style stone, so you know, I just thought it was a cute combination with the wedding bench and the pergola and everything. And this is where Dina lives. Now Dina is also not home because we've already seen her, but her house isn't decorated, so we're not missing out on anything there because she's the newest addition to the island. And if we head through here, we just have more foresty bits with another, again, picnic that we just saw from the little lookout spot. I really like this, and I love that I finally had a chance to use this. Is it the Kiki and Lala chair? I think it is, because it's so cute, and I feel like I can't use it anywhere, but on this island, obviously, it was its time to shine, and we had to implement it because it's so cute. It's so cute. And if we head through here, we have yet another walkway that is going to lead us to my rock garden. Now, you might be wondering, Nina, why are there only 2 rocks? Like, only 2 rocks? Why are there only 5 rocks and one's missing? That is because I have tried for weeks and weeks and weeks to get these 2 stones, like one here and one here, but they just didn't spawn, and I think I just lost one of the rocks. I can't find the 6th one, so I just decided to make it a 5 kind of stone rock garden, and I've never really done a structured rock garden like this, so I'm quite happy with it. And it just located in this little field of green mums, which I thought would be quite nice. We're going to get a view. I just want to walk through here first so that we can kind of orient ourselves. This is the walkway that we saw from just in front of the land bridge that we didn't walk through earlier. So this is where my house is. So we're very close to the entrance now. So if we walk back through here, we just have this very broad kind of walkway because I wanted it to feel kind of still walkable. And I do really like how this looks because it's so overgrown but still like open in a sense. So I really like how this looks, and I don't know, it just makes me very happy to also have another bridge here because I love the bridges and I feel like I don't use them often enough, so that was a nice little excuse. And I feel like if you have a broader river, you can also have a broader pathway. I'm not sure, I'm just making up stuff so that it looks more like I planned stuff, which I never do, but oh well. And then here we finally have, I think this might be one of my favorite spots on the island just because it feels so serene. Love that Dina is currently disturbing the view with her beautiful blue outfit, but you know, gotta appreciate her trying. But I just really like this because it's so vast but it still feels nestled in with all the trees. So this is just, I don't know, it might be because it's my first ever proper rock garden, I think, but I just really like it. And if we sneak through here, you can see that we have a tiny little pathway and we are led through another very tucked in kind of foresty walkway, and this is a bit of an awkward space, but if we hop over here, I just had to place the campsite somewhere, so I just tucked it behind the cliff here, called it a day, right in front of the secret beach where there's nothing there, so we're going to ignore that, but we're just going to hop over here. I do really like, however, what I did with the stone hinges, not the stone hinges. See, I said Stonehenge, with the stone arches, because it feels like a makeshift kind of Stonehenge because I didn't have the item. Plus, I wanted it to be walkable, so I felt like this was a nice way to implement that idea, but still have it, you know, open and walkable. And then if we head up this incline, this is where we have Able Sisters, and I think this is the first ever Able Sisters shop that I actually really like on my island because it kind of goes with the color scheme, you know, with the kind of pinkish red wood and the green, obviously. So I'm quite happy with this because we did not incorporate nooks, but we incorporated every other building apart from nooks because that was the only one that really didn't fit the color palette. But I'm really happy with this, and we just have this little nook back here, which is, I don't know, maybe this is where the Ables come and sit outside if it's too hot in the store, which I very much relate to currently because I am melting, but oh well, we love that. We love that indeed. And yeah, that's Able Sisters. So if we go through here, we have another one of the walkways. I feel like this island is just one long walkway where we just have some buildings to the sides, but I really enjoy decorating in that way because it just flows together more easily. And I don't know, I feel like if you just treat your whole island like a transition area, you're never going to struggle with transition areas, you know, because everything's just going to tie in together. At least that's what I'm telling myself. Thank you very much. And this is where Lucky lives. I nearly forgot. His house is also one of the houses that we didn't decorate the interior of because I was initially going to kick him out. So we're not missing out on anything with him not being home. But he just has a little clothes kind of washing area back there and just some barrels, you know, just some cute little minimal decor. But I really like how that sits on top of the cliff up there. Very tucked in still. And then if we head over here, really happy that I finally was able to implement one of those kind of over the corner inclines because I've never really done that, and I always see people doing it and it looks so good, but I've never tried it myself. So I'm really happy with how that turned out because it's also so much fun to just walk through. I don't know, I just really like it. And then this is, I think, where Walker lives. Yes, because, you know, there is a certain story that Walker and Lucky, you know, might have a certain story together. If you know, you know. And so I wanted to have their houses quite close to each other, and he just has some more minimal decorations. And if we head over this bridge, because I just love having these tiny little bridges right next to houses. I don't know, I just feel like they go so well together, and they separate off the personal space of the villager to, like, you know, another walkway or whatever it's going to come next, because this leads us into another incline. If we head up this incline, we have 2 ways to go, and I think I want to go to the left first because this build kind of came together because I wanted to have a sunken neighborhood. So I kind of created this, and I just added and added and added more houses because as you can see, we have another house over to the left. We have that one house for Lucky. We have Walker's house. Then up there, I think that is Lyman's house, but I could be wrong. And then over to the right, we have another 2 houses that we're going to check out in a second. So I really, really like this view because I feel like I never do neighborhoods, like proper neighborhoods, and I just really like how that looks with the river running through and all the petals floating in the wind. And I just had so much fun with the pink and green because I feel like they go together so well, but it still feels quite natural, even though pink is a very, you know, in your face kind of color. But it's just so cute. I really, really enjoy it. And then over to the left here, we have, again, that other villager house that is, I'm not even sure he lives here. Let me check, because I always want to, you know, call out who lives where. I think this might be, is this Lyman, actually? Oh, no, that's Murphy's house. Okay, so Murphy lives right here, and again, very minimal decoration. He has barely any decorations because, you know, it's right next to the river, and so he doesn't need much space. That's at least what I told myself. Thank you very much. And then I'm not sure if you're aware, but there was this trend on Instagram where people had kind of like this valley, and to each of the sides they had a lake that kind of led down into the valley. And I was initially going to do something similar to that here because, again, I like to experiment with trends on my offline island. But I felt like maybe I could just do a pathway that's just framed by rivers. That might not seem very outstanding to you, but it was so much fun to play with, to have this very long kind of pathway, because I also challenged myself to create more flat kind of areas, because I usually try to clutter them up kind of like I did over here with like all the trees, give them a lot of height. So that is what I did, and I just have a little farm here. Maybe that is Murphy's farm, you know? Maybe this is Murphy's farm, so that's at least what we're going to tell ourselves. But if we head through and down this incline, this would lead us back to the entrance, that just, you know, to orient ourselves, and that is also where my house is. So we are going to head through here now. Or maybe, you know what? No, let's go over to the neighborhood now, because then we're going to end at Reserves, and that's a good ending point. Yes, my brain does work. Thank you very much. We're going to head through here again, past all this walkway and up, you know, over this bridge. I just really like this bridge here as well, because I feel like whenever you do a backwards waterfall, it just opens up the space so much more, because you don't have that cliff edge that kind of hides a couple centimeters more. So really, really happy with how that turned out. And then behind all this foliage, we have another walkway that forks into 2 directions. We're gonna go up here first, because this is where, who lives here? I think Maggie might live here. Oh no, Scoot lives here, and he is home. So we're gonna check this house out because it is redecorated. I just had so much fun redecorating all of them. They are quite similar though, you know, with similar color schemes, so you're probably not missing out on too much. But this is Scoot's little home. He has a more, you know, playful kind of house. I don't know, I had so much fun to give him so many toys, because he looks like a boy who still, you know, cuddles with his plushies at night. So I thought that would be quite cute. So let me try and do a proper camera pan, because I am really bad at them. But we just have 2 little separations. We have a little sleeping room with a little office space, you know, where you can come and play on a Switch, or I don't know, maybe do his homework, because he does look like a schoolboy to me. Thank you very much. And over to the left, we have a little kitchen space with a table set up, and just a little toaster. So nothing too fancy, but I really like the separation of the 2 rooms with this, I think it's the wedding, one of the wedding, like a party wall or whatever it's called, the one that I have in the back that's kind of blocked off by the green partition walls, because I feel like it just makes it feel so cozy and separates the room off so nicely. So I really enjoyed giving him this little space. So that was Scoot's little home. And then once we're outside again, we can head over to the right. And now I just love this lighting so much, because it feels kind of, you know, fresh in a sense, because you can still, it's still the morning, but it has that warm tint to it, which makes it so cozy in a sense. I'm not sure. Just really, really like this time of day. And then we have another villager house here. So we're going to go over here first because, you know, it finishes off the neighborhood. We're going to ignore the beach. Thank you so much. This is, I think, where Maggie lives. Let me check once again because I have no concept of my own island. Oh, yeah, this is where Maggie lives. Maggie just has another very tucked away home because this was, again, another last resort kind of to fit another villager house because I wanted all of them to have their own little space. So I'm really, really happy with that. And she just has another swinging bench kind of in her backyard with some food that she can snack on. So really, really like that. Kind of also next to the pergola. Oh, overgrown flower. How very rude indeed. So if we head through here, this ordeal with the red flower definitely never happened. Thank you very much. If we head through here, this is where the pergola is, and I really, really like how this looks. Why did I say this is where the pergola is? As if this is like a very notable kind of landmark. This is where the famous pergola is. And it leads us to the museum. This build was very much inspired by Boys Crossing, as are so many of my other builds, especially around reservatives as well. So I have another very overgrown kind of valley in front of the museum. And then we have the museum building back there, which I'm very, very happy about that we have the medium one, because I feel like it blends in a bit better than the very large one would, because, you know, it has this softer kind of brownish tone and I really, really like it. And if we head through this little pathway, this is down there is where more of the neighborhood was. And we could technically also hop over here with a little bit of trying, because this I think is where Lyman lives. Yes, this is where Lyman lives. He just has a little, you know, nook over here, nothing too special. But he's home, so we can check his house out because it is also redecorated. I'm glad though that some of them are home because I was a bit scared. Okay, so this is where Lyman's home is. As you can see, a very different vibe to what we gave to Scoot, because Lyman feels like this kind of hipstery boy. So I tried to bring that across and just give him a cozy little nook nonetheless. So he has that kind of garden-esque kind of bit back there, and he has a little bed to sleep in. And a little table where he can have his cookies, which look like green Oreos to me still, and I absolutely love them. I'm just gonna do a full pan. It's gonna destroy the illusion, but I couldn't really care less. So, you know, here's the kitchen, and I decided to give him a green storage shed as like a little, I don't know, maybe even a little wardrobe or so, because I felt like it fit his vibe quite well. And then over there, obviously, we have his little makeshift kitchen, because he feels like one of those dudes who would just rather spend his money on, I don't know, some gear to produce music, because he does kind of also look like someone who would make music in his basement, and just some tech stuff, just to, you know, enjoy his life and just focus on the stuff that he cares about. So that's what we're gonna go with. Thank you very much. So thank you so much for letting us tour your house, Lyman. I appreciate it. Okie dokie. And then if we hop back over this river again with a little bit of force, because thank you, Animal Crossing. And over this bridge we have again more overgrown bits, and then the museum itself with a little bit of, I don't know, like a little, this feels like maybe they got some stuff in, and then we have some duckies as well. Nothing special. I just, again, tried to create whatever I felt like. So that is exactly what I did. And again, obviously tons of duckies. And I also really like the bunny garden garden decoration. So it's such a cute item, and I love it so much because it looks so realistic, to be fair. And so I popped a couple of those in as well, obviously. And him as well, because I think this is one of my favorite gyroids, at least for this island, because he has the perfect shade of green. So I just adore him so much. And then again, if we head back through here past Scoot's little home, we can go down this little pathway, which is going to lead us to another nook that isn't really anything. I just have some gyroids there that look a bit more childish, but I still wanted to use them, so I kind of hid them away. But I still wanted to give them a little spot because I think they look so cute with the little dots, the one to the left and this one kind of looking like a flower. So that is exactly what we did. And then through here, we are greeted by Maggie. Hello, my lovely. I love her so much. She's so cute. She was also my last, like, spring-core-esque kind of island that I then set to autumn, so it's not really a spring-core island, but oh well, I just love her so much. I think she's so cute, and I think she also fits this, like, farmy, foresty, spring-core kind of bit. And we have another lake, because I'm obsessed with lakes. And also, is this another lake, or is this the only lake that I have, actually? I think this is actually the only lake that I have, but there you can see Maggie's and Scoot's little home together. I just really like how they have their little secluded neighborhood, but I don't know, I just love lakes. Okay, what more can I say? It's just some waterscaping that I slapped there and called it a lake. But if we head through here, we have a little land bridge once again, because I love land bridges and I feel like I don't do them often enough. So that is what I did over here. And if we head through here, we are led to another incline that we can hop down and over this river. And this is where someone lives that is who's home. Tad, this is where Tad lives. I love Tad's home. I'm glad he's home. So this is where he is located. So let's check it out. He has a little kitchen with his rice cooker, which I am very, very jealous of because I would like a rice cooker myself. But oh well, what can you do? And then over here we have a little table set up, which I absolutely adore because I don't know, I just feel like it looks so welcoming, so that it would be very lovely for him to also have some guests over. I don't know, I think he would be a very good host in that sense. And then obviously he has a little teddy bear, tons of gyroids, actually 3 of my favorite gyroids, because look at their colors. I love them so much. They're like very green kind of gyroids. I love them to bits. But if we do the full pan, we have his little shoe thingy where he can put in his little shoes and his little socksies that are still on the floor, which I really, really like. And that is that for Tad's home. And thank you so much for letting us explore your home, Tad. I appreciate it. Stunning. And then over here, this would technically lead us down onto the beach and to Nook's Granny, but obviously I didn't really decorate around it because it doesn't really fit the vibe. So we're going to ignore that little nook. And then outside of Tad's home, sorry, he has a little picnic spot with a froggy chair, because I really wanted to give him a froggy chair, and you know, it might not fit the vibe, but I really, really like how it looks nonetheless. And up here we have a sneaky little pathway to another villager's home. I'm not even sure who lives here. Let me check. I think this might be Henry's home. To give, yes, because this is my little frog neighborhood. Okay, thought I put them together, but I wasn't sure. So we have his little cliff up here, and I really like how it still feels nestled in, even though it's technically a very small cliff. So really, really happy with that. So if we head down back again on this vine ladder, we can go over to the left again and hop over the river up this incline. And then we are continuing on the last little pathway that we have to explore, because this gives us a little lookout over some terraforming that is off to Rest Services to the right. As you can see, that's Rest Services over to the right. And this is one of the areas that was very much inspired by Boys Crossing as well, because they have a very similar layout where they have this very big kind of piece of terraforming next to their services building. So that is kind of what I took some inspiration of and gave it my own little fingerprint, if you can say that. And if we head through here, you could just see that my cliffs weren't finally decorated. They were not finalized, but we don't care. Thank you very much. Over here we have another bubbler because they are so cute. Look at it. Look at it. I just want to wait for him to blow some bubbles because it's so cute. Are you not going to do that? Hello? Rude. Oh well, don't then. I don't even want to see your bubbles. That's okay. And then down here we have the incline that leads us down to Rest Services. And yes, it's the fishing tourney, so technically it doesn't really fit the vibe, but I still really think it looks so cute. And this is the little piece of terraforming up close with just, you know, some waterfalls merging down into this broader piece of waterscaping that I really, really enjoy. And that is about it. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you so much for exploring this final island again. I think this is like the 5th or the 6th version of this island of drops. So I can't wait for the next one that we're going to tour. Again, there's no DA sadly, but we have this tour to look back on. I'm going to see you next week for another video, which might also be another one of our completed islands, which is Chickpea, our abandoned kidcore island. And I will also be live on Twitch tomorrow to finish said island. So if you'd like to check that out and join me over there, feel free to. And if not, take care of yourself, my lovely. I will see you when I see you. Bye.